So now it is my pleasure to introduce tonight's honoree receiving the Distinguished Faculty and Staff Award. Rufus Reid is a renowned bassist, composer, educator, Grammy-nominated recording artist, and retired professor of music. He served for 2 decades as William Paterson's Director of Jazz Studies, where he was instrumental in its emergence as an internationally recognized program. Here to present the award is the person who is carrying on that rich legacy that Rufus helped forge, the current director of the Jazz Studies program, Bill Charlap.
You should say something. I think I'd better. Well, it says on my program that I'm not meant to say anything at this point. I'm just supposed to present the award. However, here I am, and I cannot say enough about Rufus Reid. He is a personal hero of mine. He is such an important force in jazz education at William Paterson University, an icon of his instrument, one of the most important voices in the history of this music, as a bassist, as a composer, and just his spirit. Stan Getz, Thad Jones, Dexter Gordon, Jack DeJohnette, Frank Foster, Kenny Barron, Frank West. That's just a couple of the people whose incredible music he has been a central part of, not to mention his own groups, Akira Tana and Rufus Reid. And, well, what can I say, Rufus? You are singular, and I admire you so much. You are just one of the biggest parts of the constellation for me personally. And to William Paterson University, you are the essence of this jazz program, and your legacy is forever. It is right now, it is the past, the present, and the future, all at the same time. Rufus Reid. This is yours. God bless you.
Wow. We can go home now. Thank you so much, Bill, and for everybody putting this gala together. It's a bit overwhelming, actually, to be quite honest, because I only do what I do. But when I came to William Paterson, I was with Thad Jones-Mel Lewis band. That was my entrance to New York City, to be seen with that group. And then when Thad would invite the quartet to come out and do master classes at William Paterson, the gentleman who really did it and still does it for me, his name is Dr. Martin Criven. Dr. Criven would come out and we would do the master classes, and then a couple years later, Thad moved to Europe. And so Dr. Criven said, would you come out to the school? We'd like you to be involved. I said, well, I didn't come to New York to teach. I came to play. I was playing and recording and whatnot. It's difficult to say no to Martin. So I come out to the school and I found out that I actually liked being able to exchange ideas and see the light go on with the students. That's what kind of got me. And He said, I want to build a program that's a direct conduit to New York City. And I'd like you to help me do that. So he gave me my head. We would try all kinds of things. The things that worked, we kept. The things that didn't work, we got rid of quickly. And year after year, it just began to progress and get better. And I'm so happy to say, to this day, it is continuing. You just heard a portion of it, of the excellence that's coming out. But for me, everyone who was teaching, I knew personally, they wanted to share what they had. So consequently, we were traveling around the world, literally. And jazz education was just beginning to fire up all over. There were like 2 or 3 schools that were in the forefront. Berkeley School of Music, North Texas State, University of North Texas. And that was just about it, and it was all big band stuff. And it was excellent, but we didn't have enough students to have a big band when we started. But the essence of what I was doing and what Thad Jones was doing was small groups, quartets, quintets, sextets. And so we began to make the program grow. All the teachers were players themselves in the trenches, making music as their livelihood. And tonight, there's a host of musicians that have come through the program. They're all still extremely healthy and playing and making music at a very high level, like 20, 30 years later, 40 years later. That's very gratifying to me that I got a chance to be part of that. But what makes it work, you have to have a champion who really understands what it is you want to do. Dr. Criven was my champion. The music department was the champion of Dr. Arnold Spirit, the president at the time when I was there. And he, because if you don't have a champion, it's not going to work. It's just not going to work, just to be good. You need someone who believes in you. And to be honest, that's why I still continue to be associated, and because people care, and we are making headway all over the world. And to be here this evening in front of you, thinking about the jazz program in 50 years, and people come up to me all the time and say, what's the status of jazz? It's dead, right? I said, you really aren't listening. There's something, but the music is in great health, let me tell you. And this is just a smidgen, but I travel all over the world, and people are learning. When we used to go, people said, well, William Paterson, where is that? Now they know. They've known for quite a long time. We've had a program before any of the big schools began to really, Juilliard didn't even know what was happening. Believe me, they were jealous. And they continue to be so. Thank you so much. Thank you.